hey, I don't mind anime type stuff. I love anime. Anime is awesome. Anime is absolutely awesome. I mean, I just came back from watching Chainsaw Man. I even had to wear my anime shirt, which is a hen wearing a tie. It's a joke. It's a joke. Never watched anime before. Anime's worth it, but you have to get into it at the right angle. Like right now, I'm one of those who believes that we should have controlled it far, because right now in the U.S., the tourists have really gotten a hold of it, and they are trying to change it to something that they want, not something that it is. And it's just like, no, anime isn't ours. It's not ours. It was never ours. It comes from Japan primarily. Japan primarily. And then all these white people are like, oh, but you shouldn't have this. You shouldn't have this. You shouldn't have this. It's like, what the heck? What the heck? Nobody cares what you think. It's just about finding your what you enjoy. Because there are thousands upon thousands of different stories. Well, millions really. And then like 20, 80 different genres when it comes to anime. Some are bad. Some I don't touch because I know they're not good for me. Like some of the favorite ones is like Berserk? Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think it's called Berserk. I can't go through it. A lot of people absolutely love it, but I can't go through it. I can't go through it. Oh. Yeah, One Piece. Yeah. As you can tell, I've been a fan of One Piece for, well, almost 25 years. Been watching it since the beginning, but I've been indoctrinated in anime since I was a wee one. Pokemon is what got me started, and then I got into Naruto, and then I realized Naruto was absolute trash. Sorry if I hurt people's feelings, but Naruto was absolute trash, and then I went from Naruto to like Bleach, and then Bleach fell off the rails, especially after they got to the out of the soul realm. It just fell apart. And I was in One Piece around the time I started One Piece, like in between Naruto and Bleach. But of course, I was primarily in, and of course, I've seen all of Dragon Ball, all of Dragon Ball Z, all of Dragon Ball GT. Surprisingly, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I freaking love Avatar, but that was Nickelodeon. That was made by America, but it's what is it called? Poached anime. Where it's basically the style and story and everything is derived from like anime and done in that style, but made by like the West. So it was done by America. I like even Code Lyoko. Code Lyoko is French. And I even like that because it goes from 3D to 2D. The 3D characters in the game world, and then the 2D characters in the real world. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Code Lyoko. I freaking love it. Yeah. My first computer was named Aelita just because of Code Lyoko. Because she was like an AI. The first AI. Monkey King anime? I think that was China. I think they made it. Yeah, because they've touched their hands in anime. Same thing with Korea, with their solo leveling, and they have many others. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was China with the Monkey King. I mean, I guess you could say DBZ basically had the Monkey King as well. Goku, Vegeta. Netflix One Piece will be more exciting with better pace. Honestly, I'm not sure, because that's the thing. It's like this series has been taking quite a long time. It's been 25 years that it's been running. Are you planning on doing like a Netflix? Because technically, they've already summed up a few story arcs from like Water 7, which is like episode 230 something from Water 7, where they introduced Luffy's grandfather. They didn't introduce his father yet, but you already kind of know because they've already introduced a lot. So I'm wondering if they're going to kind of consolidate it, because I remember like the first thing I heard when Oda's original story was to kind of end around Alabaster, but it kind of continued on. So I'm curious if like right after Alabaster, he's planning on just skipping a ton of stuff, like not doing Skypiea, not doing and basically just going straight to the Grand Line, and then going under the water and to Fishman Island, and then continuing on from there. So it'd probably be much more fast paced. But the thing is, we're probably not going to get as much story driven, story. As terrible as I was explaining it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So who knows? Who knows? I haven't checked out anything for the new one yet. I haven't. So who knows? Oh. You're talking about the new anime that Netflix is making. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with that. I honestly haven't. If they are able to streamline it, spend some time, removing the filler episodes and making things a little more fast paced. Because if you go back and watch the original episodes of the anime, they are slow compared to how it is now. Absolutely. They are absolutely slow. I still enjoy them, but I'm curious on what they're going to do, if they're really going to do anything. Or are they just going to do the same thing and just have a different kind of animation? I don't know. Maybe they'll close end more of the stories. Have everything be kind of, have everything more consolidated and concise and everything. Don't know. But I do hope it's good. I hope the animation isn't changed too much. Because it looks like they're trying to do a different style. And if you do a different style, it's no longer anime. I mean, you can have live action anime. I mean, you watch like One Piece. You watch like Kung Fu Hustle or Shaolin Soccer. That's basically anime in live action. But when you change the animation entirely, it kind of loses itself. I was slow to start from the 300 or 500s episode. Oh, so that's when you got into it? So you've been into it for almost 16 years? I think that's around 16-year mark, right? Maybe 15 years? Because the show has really slowed down since Oda's been taking more and more breaks. Worried about his health for sure. Like, come on, just give me my franchise. Just give me my franchise. You're getting near the end. The current anime is being done easier and easier and easier, simpler and simpler and simpler. A lot of people complain about how it's done because it's just like you're doing it to the cheapest cost. You're not actually spending time. So when the manga comes out, it comes out in the chapters, and then that is like very rushed, very choppy, and then they fine-tune it, make it look cleaner. And then they come out with the volumes. I have the entire volume set. They come out with the volumes, which are the more perfected drawings, the more everything's tightened up far better. So if you read like the chapter for chapter, and then you go to the volume, it's completely different. I'm hoping that what they do is Netflix does the same exact thing. They have the original choppy version, which is the one that's was created originally. They go in and clean it up and don't have these stupid shots of like feet and then for no apparent reason and then just all this stuff where they fine tune it. So I'm hoping it's going to be that kind of thing in a One Piece where they have the rushed version, like the chapters, like the manga chapters, and then they have the finished version, like the volumes. So the Netflix one could be the volume style, and then you have the original one, which has been out and comes out quickly because it's the rushed one. I'm hoping that's what they do. They don't change it too much, they just make it look cleaner. I've been in anime since I was a wee little one. Yeah, my introduction to it was Pokemon. Of course, nobody saw it as anime, but I went from Pokemon to... Well, I watched Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, but again, a lot of people didn't call that anime because it was on Toonami at the time. But it was Naruto and One Piece, and then I got into Bleach, but Bleach turned awful. Like I said, it turned into it. They didn't know where to go with the story. A lot of things happen like that. They don't know where they're going with the story. One Piece was too different. They took forever to the story to finally start. Well, Bleach, its music got good when the series turned awful. Like it started off very simple, and then it got better and better and better, but the series got worse and worse and worse. So, yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I've watched One Piece dubbed, both Four Kids? Was it called Four Kids? And Funimation. Four Kids was absolutely awful. And Funimation actually did a pretty decent job, but I still prefer the original audio. I still do. Even though I did think Funimation did a decent job. Which now Funimation has been rolled in by Crunchyroll. Yeah, so now it's Crunchyroll. Have I watched Attack on Titan? I'm going to be honest. I started Attack on Titan. I stopped it because you're in a world filled with Titans where Titans are the monsters. Yet, a huge amount of the people in the city are Titans themselves, can transform into... It just became ridiculous. And I stopped. It was like, this isn't worth my time. This is ridiculous. This is stupid. And kind of the same thing with My Hero Academia. I'm not a big fan of it. I understand people absolutely, hands down, put their hand on the Bible and say they praise it. And it's not for me. It's not for me. I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it. For me, it was just another cliche, another typical, I prefer One Punch Man. I'm even reading the manga of One Punch Man, and it's still going on, but the story isn't about One Punch Man anymore, because when you have an ultimate hero who can do everything, he's no longer interesting when you've already done everything you can with him. It's the world surrounding him, and then he just happens to be in the right place at the right time or wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, whatever, and solves it immediately. Like when Blaze is fighting the assassin cult leader in the manga. The assassin's swords get taken away because he's trying to cut the earth in half, and One Punch Man just grabs the swords. Spoiler for everyone. And that was like the first time he was in the manga in like, I think, 9 chapters. He just catches the swords, and that's it. He has one panel where he catches the swords and takes them from the assassin. And then that's just where it goes. Yeah, the problem with the things is like things continue. And then they get so popular that they just stop caring. The same thing happened with like the One Piece animation, which was brought up before. Like, where the One Piece, I mean, the one thing I want is them to actually make it look richer, or look better. I don't want them to change the animation. I just want it to be improved upon. Yeah, One Piece is very relevant to the world. Very relevant. Absolutely. But that's the thing. That's how you create great stories. You use the world as, well, sometimes they say reality is stranger than fiction. Because sometimes things that happen in the world are just unbelievable. Unfathomable. Like the story Pain and Gain, which a movie was made on, where this guy kidnapped someone to take all their money, and the story was so outrageous that the cops actually didn't believe the victim. They thought he was just hallucinating on drugs and things like that. They didn't believe the victim. Check out the movie. It's insane. Like, they have to stop the movie halfway through and tell you that this is all real. And my mother was in law enforcement at the time, and she was like, oh yeah, I remember when this thing was happening. Oh, crazy world. Crazy world.
So bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait on that.